This conference will now be recorded.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy 2024, and welcome to the first Nacogdoches County Chamber Stakeholder Conference call of the year. I'm Kelly Augustine. I am the President and CEO now of the Nacogdoches County Chamber. I'm very happy to report that Wayne Mitchell, our former president, and his wife Bonnie are still calling Nacogdoches home, and we enjoy seeing them around town. So we're looking forward to exciting things this year with our board of directors and our members. Before we start with our agenda and our guest, I'd like to just remind everyone that we are recording this call. It will be available later on our Chamber's YouTube channel. And we have invited our media friends to join us too, so maybe we'll see some stories coming out of this as well. I have to recognize our call sponsor continuing this year is Burke. Thank you, Kenny Rena and your colleagues at Burke for finding this of value and supporting us. I'm going to go ahead and let's get rolling. We have a very special guest with us today. I hope I can call him friend now. I got to work with him early in his Texas career with Leadership Nacogdoches. It was fun to introduce him to that group and then continue working with him at Texas Association of Business. We have Mr. Glenn Hammer, President and CEO of TAB. Mr. Hammer is a torchbearer for the business community and has proven track record for success. He led the TAB team to achieve numerous policy wins, including new economic incentives, community college finance reform, the establishment of business courts, regulatory consistency, and historic property tax relief. Under Glenn's leadership, TAB launched an international relations division focused on furthering the Texas-Mexico relationship, as well as a litigation arm, the Texas Freedom Litigation Center. Glenn has made it his mission to meet with more chambers of commerce than anyone on the planet. He connects businesses, small and large, with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle to protect Texas pro-business climate. Glenn, I'm glad Cindy sent me this. It's so well written. I hope I did a good job of presenting it.
Well,
we're going to turn it over to you now.
Kelly, Happy New Year to you and to all on the call and Nacogdoches. I absolutely consider you a friend. I'm very grateful that you and Wayne, really from day one, have taken me under your wings to help me as I've tried to navigate the great state, really the country of Texas. And that's why when I talk about visiting more chambers than any person in the country since the pandemic, it's possible to do because there's so many great chambers in the state of Texas. And one of the things that when I get into the more the legislative side, is that a big, to me, reason we had a great legislative session and overall a really very strong legislative year was because we all worked together on these core items, on community college funding, on a new economic development tool, on property tax relief, on doubling the exemption, the franchise tax for businesses. All of these things we were able to achieve because we did so together. So I want to thank you, Kelly, because you also have helped have really put on one of the great legislative get-togethers in the state, and that has also helped us frame our policy agenda. Because of the Texas Association of Business, our job really is policy. We're located right across from the state capitol, and it's always an honor when we have a chance to host people in Austin when they come in for their legislative fly-ins. And our purpose, because you mentioned our purpose, I think it's important just to say this from the outset, is to champion the best business climate in the world, unleashing the power of free enterprise to enhance lives for generations. So the work that the chambers do and your members do, we feel strongly that's the key to the prosperity in the state of Texas. And when you look at where we are right now as a state, we're considered correctly, in my view, to be the top state for business, the top state for job creation in the country. I don't believe that's hyperbole when CEO magazine for 19 straight years ranks Texas as #1. Site Selection has ranked us as the #1 place for economic development projects for the last 11 years. And not to get too much into college football, but the last few years it's like the Michigan win. It's not close in terms of where the state of Texas is. And we are the top export state, and I'll talk a little bit more about the stuff we're doing, particularly to advance the relationship with Mexico in a bit. But we've been the top export state for now, I believe, 21 years, and we export more than New York, California, and Louisiana combined. And it's very diverse set of exports. Yes, it's oil and natural gas, but it's also a lot of semiconductors, a lot of agricultural products, a lot of things in the consumer electronics, semiconductor area. So it's very, very, very broad. And then when you look at what does this economy mean on the budget side, it's incredible. We had a $33 billion surplus over the biennium. And in contrast, when we were going through our how to properly allocate the surplus in terms of spending and what turned out to be historic tax relief, $18 billion of property tax cuts, and the franchise tax exemption for starters, California at that period of time had about a $33 billion deficit. And now the deficit in California is at $68 billion. So, when you look at the state of Texas, where we gained more people than any other state last year, we gained more jobs than any other place last year. We have more one-way U-Hauls coming to us than any other state. It's the opportunities that are available throughout the state of Texas that, in our view, is driving that. And to drill down, the other thing that I think is interesting, and you've got some great representation in the area. We always enjoy working with Senator Nichols. Congressman Pete Sessions is one of the great members of Congress that does a very good job of really bringing people together. We've worked closely with Representative Clardy and Representative Ashby. So you've got representation in the area that we enjoy working with, and we appreciate their efforts. But arguably, last legislative session was the best for job creators in our state's history. It certainly will rank among the very best, if it's not the best. And to go over a few of the quick highlights, I mentioned the importance of having an economic development tool. We now have a new property tax abatement tool, HB5, on the books, and that was only possible, I believe, because we had 260 chambers, economic development groups, and business organizations support this effort. And that led to about 95% of the legislature, 90% of the legislature voting for it. So a very strong bipartisan win. HB8, the Community College Initiative, extremely important. We have 50 great community college systems basically in the state of Texas, including in the Nacogdoches region. And everywhere I go in Texas, when we talk about all these different trips in person and virtually that I do, generally speaking, the #1 issue that pops up is workforce. It's both the quantity, the need for more workers, and the quality, the need to drill into the schools. And what was, in our view, ingenious about HB8, which pumps in about 650 million new dollars into our community college system, is that it's connected to outcomes. Is that, I think we should all be proud that the business community and our community colleges and our elected officials on both sides of the aisle got together and said, we need more money into our community college systems. We need greater involvement, even in our high schools, in terms of dual enrollment programs. But in exchange, we need to make sure that we're getting the outcomes that our businesses need. And it was really a remarkable achievement. I give Commissioner Harrison Keller tremendous credit for his work. Not only did the bill basically pass unanimously, but it basically passed without amendment, which means this was not a political football. This is one where really all Texas came together and said, we're growing, on net about 1,000 people new a day. We need to make sure that we have a community college system, as well as one that's connected to our high schools, our career and technical education programs, that will meet the fastest growing state in the country, not just in terms of population, but in terms of workforce, and that was achieved. Now there's a lot of work to be done. So Kelly, we're going to have to stay in very close touch as the implementation of this law takes effect. Also, as a sneak peek, what's next? We want to make sure that this new law is properly funded going forward. All the aspects of it, including the financial aid components, so all Texans, wherever they may reside in the state of Texas, have access to our community college programs. So I would expect, if we were looking at the next regular legislative session, mark down, the not sequel to HB8, but a follow-up to make sure that it's properly funded and it's working as intended to be a major item. Infrastructure, again, the incredible growth in Texas is a great thing, but you mentioned a particular roadway. We are going to continue to fight for more dollars into our transportation system. We hold TxDOT in the highest regard. They work very well with us and communities, and they understand the importance of making sure that we're continuing to have the roadways, the new ones and refurbished ones, that will carry our traffic. And we've also strongly supported other infrastructure efforts. Senator Perry has been a great leader in water infrastructure. We're going to have a lot more dollars devoted to water infrastructure, our higher education universities as well, now that Texas voters voted overwhelmingly to set up new endowments for our to make sure all of our university systems have access to annual revenue based on the health of our economy. Broadband is so important. We hear that quite a bit. It depends on the community, but we all know that for the modern economy, we need fast broadband. And that was another thing that voters approved. And leveraging that with some of the federal programs, the state of Texas will have something like $5 billion or so of new broadband dollars flowing all over the state. More is necessary, but we're probably ahead of any other state in terms of broadband in investment. In terms of other types of things, I would touch on quickly. We have put a lot of money into some of the areas that are important for Texas to continue to succeed. Now, they may be more important to certain areas than others, but I would argue they're really important for Texas to maintain its strong tax base. And those are areas including in semiconductors. So this last year, the state put about $1.2 billion into different semiconductor research operations. In terms of the importance of the importance of tourism and trade to our state's economy, this is one of those two twin issues are a primary driver of why we have been working so hard to set up a Texas-Mexico Trade and Investment Policy Council. Mexico is far and away our largest trading partner. It's now the largest trading partner of the United States. It just passed China as the #1 trading partner for the U.S. Anyone on this call think that's a bad thing? That Mexico is now our top trading partner and not China? So, as nearshoring accelerates, it's very important that we have the strongest possible relationship and the most possible trade with our neighbors north and south. That's Mexico and Canada in the north. And I wanted to call out a great bipartisan effort that was led by Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Henry Cuellar, bipartisan Henry Cuellar in the House, that will expedite the permitting process for new bridges in different parts of Texas to bring legal trade back and forth between Mexico and Texas. We directly trade $285 billion now, I believe, with Mexico, far and away our top trading partner. But what I also find is interesting, we have about $850 billion of trade between the United States and Mexico. 81%, according to the Wall Street Journal, 81% of it crosses by rail or truck, crosses through the state of Texas. We obviously have immigration and migration challenges. We strongly support increased legal pathways to meet workforce needs, because as I mentioned, it isn't just skills. We actually have a need for more workers, and we think we should take advantage of the fact that the best and the brightest and the hardest working people on the planet want to come and work here. At least that's what my wife says. She's from Israel originally, and they came the legal way and have contributed quite a bit to this country. So we need to work on that, but we also need to have border security. And what has happened is that the lack of security and the incredible numbers of people that have been entering the United States illegally and/or without a valid immigration claim for asylum has overwhelmed the system. And what that has done is it has resulted in the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and CBP from time to time closing legal arteries of trade vital to the success of the state of Texas. For example, right before the Christmas break, I got a lot of airtime in the media on what was going on with CBP closing down our rail traffic between Eagle Pass and Piedras Negras in Coahuila. And just to give a quick sense of those numbers, 40% of all the UP traffic into the United States goes through those bridges. That was completely closed. And there was no connection to illegal migration. I believe that in 5 months, 5 people tried to hop onto a UP train to enter the country illegally. So it wasn't connected in terms of it being a source of illegal migration, but CBP felt that they had to take agents off of processing legal trade to process asylum claimants who were released into the country, even though most do not have, from my understanding, a legal basis to be there. So long way of saying it's very important for the Texas economy that we get migration, trade, and border security right. And we support more legal trade, we support sensible migration, and we support increased border security. All are very important to Texas. And again, going forward, we have a lot of work to do on HB8, the implementation. We're going to have a lot of work to do to make sure that there's appropriate funding moving forward. My understanding is we're going to need to request more funding so that the outcomes-based model can be robustly funded. And I think a couple of other stray things just to keep your eye on. We have a tech means business effort that Megan Morrow, who does also a great job of connecting all of our chambers to our advocacy effort, leads. Megan leads this effort. We worked on a major privacy legislation that we thought hit the right balance between the consumer privacy needs, as well as we didn't want to make anything too onerous for small businesses. We feel Texas hit that just right. But there's going to be a lot of effort and attention paid to artificial intelligence. By the way, I wrote all my comments. I didn't have it go through ChatGPT so any errors, blame this human. But that's going to be an area of increased attention, and we want to make sure, again, that we get the balance right. Final comment, we appreciate the partnership with the Nacogdoches Chamber. Kelly, you do a fantastic job. Drew Cheverly, who is executive director of the Texas Chamber of Commerce Executives, you'd blush if you heard what he had to say about you and your efforts to tie the entire state together. And with that, if there's time, would open it up to any questions, comments, or any insults anyone on the screen might have. Thank you for the chance to beam in this morning.
I'm going to see if anyone has a question. I have a comment. Well, you covered a lot, Glenn, really did. And I'm going to echo kind of what you said about our partnerships and our relationships. We've always felt welcome at TAB. Our chamber is a member of the association. And I think the way we're going to realize more success is for us to continue to work with our regional partners, and then work with you, work with our representation, State Representative Travis Clardy, Senator Nichols, Congressman Sessions, and also the Governor's Office, Tourism and Economic Development. We've enjoyed visits with them because our area, we've got some beautiful green pastures, beautiful pine woods, gorgeous lakes and rivers, and I know we can attract the right industry for our area that's going to benefit our businesses, our future workforce, our community as a whole. That's our goal.
And Kelly, I thank you for saying that, because Governor Abbott and his team have done an outstanding job. Adriana Cruz, who runs the Economic Development Program, which also includes tourism and arts and showbiz and music and all that kind of stuff, is a force of nature. And to have the governor and his team, they tout Texas like you can't believe, all over the country and all over the world. And that, while we have certainly a great low tax, light regulatory, great infrastructure, great workforce, business courts now, you need someone to sell the merchandise. And Governor Abbott and Adriana Cruz and her team do a fantastic job in working across the state in bringing us together. There's no state that has the chamber economic development network and deep bench that we do. And it's not an accident that we now have more Fortune 500 companies than any other state, 55, and we're the headquarters of headquarters. So I appreciate you mentioning that, Kelly. I should have mentioned, I should have given thanks, to the governor and Adriana, because they really they work it hard day in, day out. And I think you could attest, they work very well with, they're non-denominational when it comes to the state of Texas. They want to make sure every portion of the state is booming, which I'm knocking on wood, which we are right now.
We want to keep that going. Well, Glenn, thank you. You're welcome to stay on the call if you just want to listen in to some of our partner reports. I think you'll find it interesting. But thanks again for your time. We enjoy all of our conversations. They're good and productive.
Well, I can't wait to return in person. My middle daughter, Ella, was in one of the trips. We couldn't have been treated any nicer. So many thanks.
Thank you. While I have you on the call, or while I have you, I'm going to mention we will be in Austin, Chamber Days in Austin that we partner with Lufkin Angelina County Chamber. Will be February 13th through 15th. And then we will be hosting the Lone Star Legislative Summit again this year, April 4th and 5th, and we plan to see you at that as well. So yeah, if we don't see you before then, we'll see you in April.
Would be an honor. Thank you. And I'm going to try to listen in.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye. Bye.
All right, well, great report there to get us started off. And mentioning a force, I think we should check in with our friends at SFA. I see Dr. Smith on the call and would like to hear from you, sir.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kelly. And thank you, Glenn, for those remarks. As you saw, I stepped in a little bit late, but one of the key words that I heard is partnerships. And I just want to first mention that Interim President Oglesby sends her best. I'm just all is well at SFA. We look forward to our new president. But as I was listening to the remarks by Glenn, it just reminded me of, again, how important our relationship is with the community. And I'll just take a little bit of time this time to talk about our growing interest and need in the area of research. With our affiliation with the University of Texas system, one of the expectations is that SFA grow what's called its research footprint. And primarily they're looking at increasing our externally sponsored research and scholarly activity. And as you know, that leads to additional support for our students, for our faculty, and by extension, the community. And so I just want you to know that as SFA grows into its place and becomes even a stronger partner for the state of Texas with this affiliation, you're going to see an increased footprint in our research. And that means more opportunities for the community. Our undergraduate students are getting more involved. We're pulling in more graduate students. We have, as you know, several doctoral programs. And so I really encourage everyone, if you have an interest in learning more about what SFA can do within the context of research, creative activity, scholarship, please do reach out to me. It's an important part of how we support the community. And I'll just close by saying, right now, the president we all are laser focused on growing enrollment. And one way that we can do this is by increasing our research footprint. Many students are interested not only in the outstanding academics at SFA, but also what are some of the extracurricular activities with which they can get involved in. And research is part of that. And those are the sorts of experiences that oftentimes they'll look back and say, I don't really remember that provost guy, Dr. Smith, but boy, I remember that amazing experience I had working with the professor in the area of archaeology or chemistry or whatever it may be. And so I'll just close by just, again, reminding you of our interest in growing our research. It's part of our vision. The new president coming in, I have no doubt, is going to embrace that. And again, reach out to me if you have additional questions or comments on how we can serve you better.
Well, thank you for that. We appreciate you joining the call and giving us that information. That's very interesting. Look forward to some updates on the work in that area. Did anybody have any questions for Dr. Smith? All right, well, I'm gonna kind of jump ahead to Monica Lau. She is on site at the Expo Center, and I would love for her to tell us what's going on over there today.
Hello, good morning. Monica Loa here from SFA Cary. Yes, it's a little loud in the background, so sorry about that. My camera view looks a little less professional this morning because we are here at the Expo. We're getting ready, having a lot of setups for our Gateway event. We are excited for tomorrow from 8 to 3 and same on Thursday, 8 to 3. We will have about 1,200 students from the Nacogdoches County area. 10 districts in total in the Nacogdoches County area will be attending and bringing their students from any grade between 8th grade all the way up to 12th grade, which is workforce ready. And we will have about 15 businesses here showcasing not just a pamphlet and career fair. This will be an interactive exploration for pathways for all different types of careers. We'll have our Bridge Year partners from Houston, Texas here presenting about 6 different professions, including phlebotomy, car mechanics, all the way up to IT, all the things. And so we will have great participation. We are super excited. If you see any of the firefighter trucks or EMS ambulance outside, it is not an emergency. It is showcasing all those great first responder, professions and things like that. So we are super excited. Again, we're at the expo tomorrow and Thursday, pretty much all day, 8 to 3. So come by, even if you are not registered, please come by and see the event. Last year we had it for the first year, and it's grown substantially since then. We've included some more businesses, and we're super excited about it. While I have you on the call, I have a few updates from SFA Cary area as well. We have secured a construction partner contractor for our renovations of the building on the southwest loop. I'm directionally challenged, forgive me. But on the loop, we will be utilizing a space, an extension to SFA to serve our 12 county Deep East Texas region. We also have a position available with our team that is available on our SFA Careers website as well to join the Cary team, specifically myself and Marianne Rojas. So we are super excited about that. We'll be having a new member join our team, hopefully late February. And then we have a couple of events that we wanted to announce. We will be doing another, what was similar to our Summer Fred Forum Blitz, which is a forum on rural economic development for 12 county region. We'll be doing something similar this spring, and we'll be announcing those dates at our event next week that we're partnering and presenting with the Texas Forest Country Partnership on January 17th, the 18th Annual Economic Development Summit. Again, that's January 17th, next Wednesday here at SFA, or there at SFA. And so registration is still open. If you want to register, I can get that link and get it to Kelly or anybody else who's interested, just let me know. We will also have a tourism conference that we are partnering with a representative from each of our 12 county Deep East Texas counties, and we have a representative from each of those areas for a hopefully statewide rural tourism conference. We'll be targeting any counties less than 50,000 in population, and just really to showcase what we can do in a rural community and how we can make our towns and communities better. Our keynote speaker is Jonas Argis from Branson, Missouri. And so I'm sure everybody's pretty familiar with Branson and how it actually only has a population of about 12,000. And they have welcomed almost 10 million visitors the last 2 or 3 years. So we are super excited to have him speak at this conference. Again, that's March 7th, and we'll be pushing out more information for that as well. But registration is open. So yeah, that's for Cary for SFA. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Well, thank you, Monica. I think you're a bit busy there. I look forward to walking through Gateway myself. All right, fantastic. Let's move along to our Small Business Development Center with Angelina College. Cassandra Stokes is on the call, I believe, and we did a mic test earlier, so she should be available to speak to us. Oh. Cassandra, I'm going to interrupt you there. I don't know if everybody else can hear it, but I'm getting some kind of staticky. I'm sorry, Cassandra, it's not. No. Oh my. I really don't know what happened. You sounded perfect earlier. I'm sorry about that. Okay. I tell you what, let's pause there. I'm gonna fast forward to Caroline. Okay, we're gonna jump over to Caroline Garner, our President and CEO of the Nacogdoches Area United Way.
Well, thank you, Kelly Augustine, President and CEO of Chamber of Commerce. Good to see you all this morning. Yeah, well, Monica just talked. I'm going to do a segue there because we have a program going on in partnership between United Way and SFA Cary that will be launching by May. That is the plan. We mentioned it some in the fall. This is going to be the Give 5 retirement, I can't remember exactly, involvement program. It has to do with giving volunteer opportunities, training and opportunities to mostly targeting retired people who have wonderful skills to offer in the area. But anyway, we'll be really ramping that up, and it's something that was brought to us by Kari, and United Way is the host organization of that. So we'll just stay tuned. That's another way that Monica is keeping busy, trying to help make a difference out in the community with your United Way. So just stay tuned for that, I will say. Then also, all through the fall, I was talking about our campaign, our fundraising campaign, not our political campaign, but our fundraising campaign. We have so many wonderful partners and donors step forward. We had a goal of $250,000. We have great news on that goal. I want to hold off on the official announcement for our campaign chairman, Robert Raspberry, but just stay tuned. You will see us out at that thermometer that you've been watching, along with the political campaign signs, on the corner across from the post office. We will be making another United Way appearance there in the next couple of weeks with our campaign chairman. So, but just in the meanwhile, just want to express my gratitude to everybody who has participated and helped United Way go towards that goal. Additionally, we do have another big event coming up. We've gotten past the big events of Turkey Trot with our Trot Commander Kelly and the Christmas Parade in the fall. Those were two big United Way events, and now we are looking towards our next big United Way event out at the Expo. Again, that would have been a segue opportunity with where Monica is, but out at the Expo, United Way will be hosting again Do That Barbecue. That is April 27th. I'm mentioning it now, not just to make you develop your appetite for barbecue over the next 4 months. That's kind of cool, but also in case you're interested in having a team. This is not a professional type barbecue. We welcome corporate teams, church teams, neighborhood teams, teams of friends, your family, whoever. We do have a family, a big family that comes back with an Irish theme every year. That's pretty fun, Team McGuire. But anyway, it's a very fun event. For more information, you can find our Do That Barbecue page on Facebook, or look at unitedway.org, and there is a link there too. We'd love to have you plan to come join us at Do That Barbecue. That's it for now, Kelly. Thank you very much.
We appreciate the update, Caroline, and look forward to your exciting announcement coming soon. Unfortunately, our Visit Nacogdoches Executive Director wasn't able to join us today, Ashley Morgan, but she did ask me to give you just a quick reminder that they are really looking at their event calendar for the year right now and want to have everyone's events on their calendar so that they can turn in reports to great media partners like Texas Highways event calendar. So they help promote all of our public events so that we can attract more folks from across the state and outside of our state to our good city. So check out their calendar, put your events on there if you can, and we welcome those on our chamber calendar as well. Les Linebarger was on the call earlier. I believe he's still with us. Les, do you have any updates for us on NISD?
Hey, good morning, Kelly. Thanks for having me on. Everyone's back in school after the Christmas and New Year's holidays as we get the second semester underway. Now, schools are always a busy place, but for some reason, the spring semester just flies by. And before we know it, we'll be in May and it's time for graduation. But so a lot of things going on this semester. Also, January is School Board Appreciation Month in Texas, and we always like to take a moment to thank our board members for their volunteer work for the district. And these are purely voluntary positions, and we're grateful for the time that they take and for the effort that they make to improve our community as well. And just other than that, just a whole lot of things will be happening over the next several weeks and next few months. Thank you, Kelly.
Well, thanks for joining us, Les. We appreciate getting the info on NISD, a big part of our community. I saw Jason Reese. Dr. Reese is on the call. He's one of our great board members. And I thought he might have a moment to just mention what we're planning with our business development series. He's facilitating that get together.
Sure, happy to help. So on the evening of Tuesday, January the 30th, we're going to have a session basically about marketing 101, the essentials of understanding marketing for small businesses. And this is going to be somewhat of an interactive activity where we'll have me moderating a session, but really the great thing about this is that I don't get to talk much. We're going to listen to some small business owners as well as those that kind of help with other businesses as they develop their marketing plans. And the whole idea is about developing marketing for those that may not have a lot of staff on hand to do that, or at least even those specialties in marketing. And so the idea is to give you real takeaways as small business owners. And so if you know those that would be interested in joining us, it's going to be hosted on campus at SFA in the Arnold Center for Entrepreneurship. We call it the ACE. That'll be on the 3rd floor of the McGee Business Building. And we'll have signs up and people directing traffic. So kind of if you know where Surf and Steve is, the business building's right next to that water fountain statue. And again, right there on the 3rd floor, 6 p.m. on January the 30th.
Thank you so much. That's going to be a great opportunity for small business folks to be able to utilize the little bit of time that they have, their resources for promoting their businesses. Thanks for hosting that for us as well at your place. We do have the registration open. It is free of charge, but we'd like to know how many folks are coming. So go to nacogdoches.org to our calendar and you'll find it there again on January 30th, and you can register there. Let's see, Gary Lee Ashcraft was with us for a while. I think he's still on the call, and we have him on our agenda for an update or report on the Sawmill 6-man. Gary Lee, would you like to give us a report? And Cassandra, are you able to join us verbally?
Hey, let's try this again.
I can hear you.
One. There we go. Happy New Year, everyone. Gosh. So at the Small Business Development Center, the new year means brand new opportunities for small businesses to apply for all types of grants, big and small. So right now, our business advisors are taking the time to research and send grant matches to our many clients. We use several platforms that I've placed into the chat for those who are interested in learning more about the grant process and what's currently available. We're looking forward to continuing to help our small business clients in Nacogdoches County and the surrounding ones in the upcoming year. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Cassandra. It was so good to hear from you. You know, and I know Larry Kane, who also offers resources and aid for small businesses at SFA, both for students and our local businesses, was on the call. We have another chamber member, Communities Unlimited. So I'm really happy and proud that our community offers so many options for small business owners, whether you have a business or are thinking about opening one. That they can go to. And we certainly enjoy working with you and your team at the Small Business Development Center. I am going to open it up if anybody has a quick update. Maybe I missed someone. I'm new to this, so this was my first time for this year. I did see more comments in the chat. Please check that out. All right, well, I am going to mention, along with the great things you've already heard from our chamber work, we have a good team here at our Chamber of Commerce. Sherry Williams, give a wave. She's on camera there. Hi, Sherry. She is our Membership Development and Retention. We have Militia Ann Wheeler, Program and Event Director. Hi, Militia. She's relatively new to the team. And also, Missy Manning is here. She's our Finance Manager. She watches our dollars and cents. And then we have that isn't on the screen, but always with us, Sharon Hurst, who coordinates information, gathering and dispersing. She's a great member of our team. So we are looking forward to the good year ahead. We have Operation Thank You coming up, our Chamber's annual event to thank our members for their involvement in the Chamber and what they're doing in our community. We have Eggs and Issues that will be on January 25th. It's a candidates forum, and we are hosting, I believe all the candidates invited accepted our invitation from the Republican primary elections. We have State Representative Travis Clardy, along with Joanne Schaffner running for that District 11 seat. We have acceptance from the candidates for the 420th District Judge seat, and also our county commissioners candidates for Precinct 1. So it's going to be a packed candidates forum for that Eggs and Issues, and that, as well as our other chamber events, are all located on nacogdoches.org event calendar. Find details there, registration links, and like today's call, the join the call information will be on there too when you're looking for that. So thank you guys for joining us today. We're wishing everyone a good year ahead. Again, thank you to the sponsor of this call, Burke. And I'm going to sign off with that and wish everyone a good day.